you're reading this, don't spill anything on the goddamn pages. Anyways, I pissed off the Duke. How was I to know that she was his sister? They took my gear, destroyed my home, stripped me down to my Johnson and tossed me out on the street. Apparently, I was found by a man named Noah, kind enough to give me a written guide. It contained some basic tasks, some sort of trial, to see if I was worthy to be a White River citizen. Apparently, I'm being watched. It was nice of them to give me nothing other than this test, but with my balls in the wind, I figure I'd better get on it. I gathered 10 fiber to make a bedroll, 2 fiber, 2 stone, and 2 wood to make a multi-purpose stone axe. Some more fiber to make some basic clothing. When the elements get rough, it's better than nothing. And no matter how big your dick is, swinging that at zombies ain't gonna get them off. Or you. A wooden club, the simplest of weapons. 5 wood. Infection is a bitch. It'll kill you quicker than most daytime zombies. Bees love to make their homes in tree stumps. Smash them up, and if you're lucky enough to find some honey, you'll have yourself a little early stage infection remedy. Don't go playing cornhole with the Duke's sister unless you got 4 or 5 servings. Chicken. Don't go feeling bad for the little cluck. Since the world went to shit, their population exploded. They are a great source to add to your food stores, and keep an eye out for their nests. If you're lucky, you might find an egg. Start making yourself some real meals. So I made myself a basic bow and arrow, some wood frames, smacked one down, upgraded it, and tossed a campfire on top. That's it. That's the test. Supposedly, I could then go find and talk to one of their traders. If I have anything to trade, get myself some gear. If not, well, fuck me. I'm running around looking like Conan the Barbarian. What the hell else did I have to do? Keep an eye out for a place to shelter at night, that's what. Somewhere small, manageable. When those bastards start running, you don't want to be their finish line. Something about the night lights a fire in their ass. Carl Lewis wouldn't stand a chance. Perfect. Home for the night. With a little love, maybe I had found myself my forever home. My lady always used to talk about that shit. I miss her. Bicycle handlebar schematic. Nice. Maybe I can sell this to the trader. Me? I was after something a little more environmentally unfriendly. Strength. Important if you want to get up close and personal, whether swinging a sledge or bracing the kick of a shotgun. And I am a bit of a bruiser. Swinging a sledge is exactly what I'm gonna do. Sexy Rexy. Don't forget to keep up your stamina. I built myself a shovel. For some supplies, it's faster gathering and more of it. Just make sure you have a place to store it all. Even Ted DiBiase's pockets ain't that deep. Too old a reference for you? Well, fuck you then. I ain't babysitting here. Clean this place up, gather what resources I can get, then get my ass back out there. Daylight's burning. Home sweet home. For now. I reinforced the door the best I could, stepped outside and took a look at my new property. What a lovely shithole, but it's all mine. It was time to see about that trader. Imagine my surprise when I discovered that they didn't even lock the main door, or anything else inside. Don't look at me like that. I didn't know those people. Consider my rummaging through their stuff as a gift for completing their test. Fuckers. Though I have to admit, she was not what I was expecting. She greeted me with some sort of hand signal. Then she showed me her inventory. 160 dukes for the handlebar schematic.
You should stock up on medical supplies. There's a zombie apocalypse out there.
Maybe later? Wait, do you have any jobs? I wouldn't mind testing out my new shovel a bit more. Dig something up for you.
I would love to give you a job.
So would I.
Okay, be careful and try not to get yourself killed.
But I had business to take care of. Time to get those supplies. Ankle biters. Not as tough as the walkers, but don't underestimate their reach. Yahtzee. When I travel, eyes open, head on a swivel. I don't want to miss anything. And where one is good, more is always better. I found the supply site. Of course, it had to be next to a road. I was fine as long as I didn't have to smash up the pavement. You tried doing that with a stone multi-tool. No thanks. The more I dug, the more I felt like I was being watched. And not by some White River dickhead. It made my skin crawl. They must have heard the digging. I wasn't used to being so out in the open. Bitch. I was no stranger to cracking the pavement, but I was always safe behind the Duke's walls while doing it. Well, that's unpleasant. And it looks like he's calling his buddy. Shit. As you could imagine, that hat on their head makes it a lot harder for them to pop. But they still do. I was gonna keep an eye on him. What the hell? He's smashing that whole place up. What else could I do? I had 4 bones in my pocket. Get a 5th and make a bone knife. If you don't want to become John's candy, just keep on working and get the hell out of there. Too old a reference again? You fucking kids. After finding the supplies, I made sure I had an easy way out, and then I took care of the spectators. For some goddamn reason, they always know when you find the loot. All right, screwheads, let's dance. I may have not done a lot of digging beyond the walls, but I did a lot of bashing. I didn't remember swinging the sledge taking so much out of me. I must have been out of it longer than I thought. Another one. That is one mean-looking son of a bitch. About to send him home to mommy. Come on, you bastard. Just because the fighting's over, it doesn't mean that the survival is. And you need a whole hell of a lot of wood out here. I'll tell you what, it's a lot more nerve-wracking when you're on your own. Especially when everything wants to eat you. Love me a backpack bonus. Look at me talking like it's a goddamn game. It's time to get this trader her stuff. Maybe she'll give me something in return. Perhaps even a little goodwill for the future. If there is a future. Hey there, Jen. I come bearing gifts.
Hello, traveler. What's ailing you?
And she had some for me too. She let me keep the food, gave me some coin, choice between a shovel mod schematic and some painkillers. I felt it wise to take her doctorly advice. She had some more jobs for me.
I think I've got a job or two. Do hurry. I have a protection payment coming up soon.
Poor girl. Sold some stuff I didn't need just then she showed me her secret stash. I bought a sweet-ass iron sledgehammer for only 280 coin.
Well, you just brightened my day. I'm glad I could help you.
Nice girl. After that trip, I started feeling a little less scrawny, but still a bit like a milk drinker. Stronger is stronger, I guess. Definitely got the lungs working, though. Good thing now that I got this bad boy. I checked out my new land one more time. Felt like a good time to start on the renovations. Just a little. I may have found some good swag that morning, but I was going to need a hell of a lot more if I was going to make it long term. Let's go see if the Mr. and Mrs. are home. Though I wasn't about to announce myself like some jackass, at least not without a shotgun. For some reason they like to hide in the closets, pop them open from a distance. I actually don't know if they're hiding or maybe they just die in there trying to hide from the other scab heads. That house was in rough shape. Looked like a hoard had already ripped right through it. I wasn't sure if I should be happy that the place seemed to be zombie-free, or pissed off because it seemed like there wasn't going to be much to loot. Better pissed off than pissed on, I suppose. Yeesh. Nothing like afternoon dick splinters. Gonna have to be a bit more cautious. Worry about the loot last. Before you start sticking your head in the toilet for that sweet murky water, make sure all the squatters have vacated. Otherwise, you might be the murky water coming out their tail end. Afraid of heights? Get over it. You never know who climbed on the roof to try to get away. If you don't go out on the ledge, you might miss the best piece of gear in the entire place. Just keep an eye out for those goddamn vultures. Literally, birds. But I lucked out on that one. It was time to loot the house. Everything is useful somehow. Harvest 10% more from all ores when buzzed on coffee, and do 10% more damage to all safes. Books are fantastic. If you can't read, now's the time to get hooked on phonics. Let me guess, too young to know what the fuck I'm talking about. You kids kill me. Found another book to do more damage with 44mm. Wrench. It was time to collect some real parts. Springs from beds. Pipe from sinks. Break down every chair you see and get that leather. Don't need a wrench for that though. Then finally, something to wear other than this Tarzan getup. Protect yourself from the elements. Upgrade your clothing as quickly as you can. Look everywhere and at everything. It's the motherfucking apocalypse. You never know what you'll find in today's trash will save your ass tomorrow. Assuming you make it that far. I knew I heard footsteps. Know that every sound you make might be the dinner bell calling the uglies home for dinner. Get complacent, and you'll end up like this guy. Would you die again already? Don't be this guy. Or you might end up with your head bashed in by this guy. Back to work. Your muscles will be on fire, but it ain't quitting time just yet. Cooking pot. There's just some things you can't cook without it. You'll find resources in the most unlikely of places, and you're gonna need that charcoal. I can tell you, your first day on your own ain't gonna be that exciting, but what you do with all those minutes is going to determine what happens to the rest of your life. If you don't listen to me about anything else. Trust me on that one. When I was ripping the house apart, I looked up and saw what might have been an attic. Without being able to find a stairway or a ladder, there's only one way in. Gun bag. With a pipe bomb and axe head mod. Nothing to brag about, but nothing to stick your nose up at either. Even the attic was falling apart. With the attic clear, it was time to take care of Dum Dum. Hey there, Dum Dum. Don't talk with your mouth full. With the main house looted, it was time to reinforce the night's shelter. My current setup was just a little too small. In case I wanted to make it a permanent shelter, I figured I should expand it a little. Just keep in mind, while you're whacking your wood out there in the open, all that hammering is bound to grab the interest of the unemployed. Sorry there, Randy. Ain't taking any more applications today. Ooh yeah. Remember how I said you're gonna need a lot of wood? I meant it. With the front of my shelter hanging out like a dick in the wind, it was time to fell some more trees. But that doesn't mean to forget your other duties. Honey stumps, eggs. You don't want to survive the night just to starve to death. And fuck those chickens. If they could wield a sledge, they'd pop your head open. The big ones always take the longest to fell. And at that moment in time, swinging that big-ass sledge just once took half the stamina I had out of me. If melee's your thing, you're gonna be doing a lot of backpedaling. With a nice stack of wood in my pack, it was time to get back and finish up the renovations. 4 hours to sundown. And time was ticking almost as fast as those fuckers were gonna start running. The important part for night one was done. Dump what I collected in my storage, then head back out there and use the last hours of the day to grab whatever I could. Concrete and cobblestone, base reinforcements for another day. It's much easier to get stone off a pallet than it is to go out in the woods and start smacking the ground. Gasoline, nothing to put it in just yet, but if you're lucky enough to live a while, you're gonna need a bunch of it. When you're done turning the outside upside down, it's time to head on in. When you come across door fortifications, don't be afraid to hammer straight through the wall. Sometimes it's a lot less work. Just keep in mind, you're probably going to wake up the residents, one way or another. And when you can, Sneaky does it. Draw out one at a time so you don't get overwhelmed. Let the other Zeds finish their beauty sleep. Peekaboo, muckface. Use the environment to your advantage. Never just go rushing in. Shit! And never fall off a staircase. Gotta get back up there quick. Ah, shit. Beat me to it. Ever hear the saying, don't kick a man while he's down? That doesn't apply here. Winded. That's the risk you take when wielding something so damn heavy. And if you piss them off just right, you might find them coming at you a little quicker than you expected. That part of the day was called getting my ass kicked. Thank God for that trash candy. Painkillers will get you out of more than one tough spot. That was close. Just like the house that was collapsing in on itself, you can't expect too much from one that wasn't fully built. But there's always something. A little shovel upgrade. Don't forget to hydrate. Check all floors. Something in their brains must still work from their previous life. A lot of them just like to head for the doors. There's no shame in hitting them from behind. It's not exactly a fair fight when it's you against the entire world of zombies. And where there's one, there's usually more. Don't underestimate their strength. Never underestimate their abilities, or your current lack thereof. Spend time honing the skills you use most often, not the least of which, knowing when to run away. Take a moment, catch your breath, and go and help send that motherfucker back to hell. Believe it or not, I didn't always used to swear so much. Duke has a way of changing you. Anyways, I thought it prudent to start keeping my eyes open for game tracks. Chickens, rabbits, small things that I could currently manage. Unfortunately, I must have scared them all off. It's good to squat down and check every 100 meters or so, but night was nearly there, and I don't feel comfortable without doing a perimeter check. Take some time, make sure my map is all up to date in case I forget what houses I cleared. Check some more of the surrounding rubble. Gather whatever resources I can. And push those zombies back away from my shelter as far as I possibly can. I may initially come off sounding all tough to you, but the truth is, the night scares the shit out of me. With no armor, not even a pair of shoes, and nothing but a sledgehammer. I do not want the midnight salesman knocking on my door. Whatever he's selling, I'm not buying. It was time I made a little more storage, though not yet time to sort through it all. I hadn't yet decided if that garage was going to be a permanent home or just some place to escape to. I figured since I had the wood, why not reinforce everything else the best I could? Hit the cabinets I missed earlier, and get ready for the night. Because the night was here. Though once you've caught your breath, you can't just sit around idle all night. Even the darkness provides some good work hours. Go through your stuff, fix and upgrade your weapons and tools. Hell, dig a mine and get some extra resources. Whatever you do, if you aren't ready for the time of your life, for the love of God, don't make too much goddamn noise.